Hi, Dipika, and thank you so much for being on SpotboyE. It's lovely talking to you.
I,
When I heard that your show is coming back, Ramayan, whatever may be the reason for it, the lockdown or whatever, I mean, it was really a delight for not only me, but many of us who have seen, before, or those who even, some of them who even haven't seen. I'm sure many of them on that count. But what was your first reaction when you heard that the show is coming back?
my first reaction was total disbelief. I didn't believe that it would happen
Hmm.
because it's been last 33 years that people have been wanting and people have been talking about it, but
Hmm.
it's really not happened. So it was one of those things, just a rumor. I mean, I just took it as a rumor. And then finally, when it came from Prasad Bharati on the Twitter and the sagas informed, so that's when I was like, okay, now it can't be a rumor, and it's like, wow, it's actually happening, and I was quite happy. I was quite happy to have it back. It was quite nice to not just see myself, but I was happy because I always felt that people always said कि हमने सुना था ये होता था, हमने सुना था ये एक magic है, ये होता है वो होता है. So I felt that there are a lot of people who were intrigued by the Ramayana at that point of time would
Hmm.
experience why the magic was there. So I think that was one of the reasons when I felt, wow, I'm so glad this has happened.
So, did you watch the first episode? I mean, did
Yes,
you?
I did watch the first episode. I was playing the Lakshmi Ji in the first episode, and Vishnu Ji was sleeping, and I was playing the Lakshmi Ji. So that's the first episode, and yes, I watched it.
तो अब तक सारे देखे हैं या बीच में ब्रेक दिया आपने?
नहीं, मैंने ब्रेक के साथ मैं कर रही हूँ. I've not been able to do everything all the time. Like सुबह का कभी हो ही जाता है, सुबह तो हो ही जाता है, शाम का थोड़ा इधर उधर मिस हो जाता है. And yeah, but more or less I try to catch up on the YouTube or something like that. I do try to catch up. I don't want to miss it. I'm trying to sit and watch it with the family and trying to, you know, tell them कि every episode के बाद ये होता था, मैं shooting इतने बजे हुई थी. This is the time when my dupatta was not working and you know मैं dupatta change मैंने करवाया last minute पे. ये shot में पंखे की वजह से इतनी रीटेक्स होने लगे थे बिकॉज हम लोग ऑन करते थे ऑफ करते थे ऑन करते थे ऑफ करते थे बिकॉज वी कुडंट हैव पंखास. सो छोटी छोटी बातें, छोटी छोटी कहानियां, whatever was happening. So I think behind the scene, whatever was happening, जितना मुझे याद है, I try to share it with the family.
So your daughters hadn't watched anything of it, like I mean,
In the initial days, no, not much. I tried to make my daughter watch it when she was very young.
hmm.
And I got a gift from the Sagars, and they gave me the DVD, sent me DVD. So, मैंने मेरी बड़ी daughter को I made her sit down to show her that this is what Mama used to do, and she was just 6 or 7 years old, and then she started perspiring, and I said, "What happened to you, beta? What is happening?" She said, "Mom, who are these two people? Why are in the jungle? And where is Daddy?" And then I realized, Daddy, she's too young to understand that her mother is an actress. And also, when she would see me in the Nirma ad, she came back one day very angrily and she said, "Mom, I understand that you are in our TV because it's our house. Why were you in somebody else's house? I saw you there also." So
Hmm.
I realized that, they're just too young to understand what television is, what acting is. Because once I moved away, my kids have not been exposed to the industry at all. I've not worked. I've not gone for shoots, so they don't know what dubbing is. They don't know what lights and spotlights and things like that. So it was very new to them. And once they grew up, they've really not watched much of it. Yeah. So now they're still watching it.
So now tomorrow, if they tell you that they want to, enter the industry, whether TV or Bollywood.
I think they're quite old enough to make up their mind, and both of them have kind of made up their mind. My older one is she's done her business management. Both of them have studied in London, and both of them have done their BBA. And both of them are looking for a career which is not connected really per se as acting. Like my older one, she's very keen on doing makeup as a profession, so she does my makeup sometimes. And we also run a makeup company. So we have a brand called Tips and Clothes and Shingar. So she eventually wants to head the company. So that's how she plans the older one.
But
The younger one is still figuring.
had they told you that they want to pursue acting, would you have been
No,
open to it?
never. No, never. The older one is very, very shy. She cannot even come in front of the camera. She's very, very shy. My older one does. My younger one is not shy at all. Possibly, she could have. I mean, but she never said that she wants to get into acting. But yes, she could have been behind cameras. I mean, she could have been in front of the camera. So she is quite okay about it. I mean, you need to be that kind of a person who can talk. So she's one of those. Yeah, she could have, but never really told me anything as such.
But you did Ramayan, you did, I remember seeing Sun Meri Laila in 83, if I'm not wrong. And then you did a couple of films with Rajesh Khanna. And then I didn't see you much in Bollywood, and going more into the regional cinema. What exactly happened? I mean, were you discontented with the offers that you were getting, or was it that एक टीवी में आने के बाद एक छाप लग जाती है कि this is Tulsi, this is Sita, and the roles don't come eventually more than just being one, maybe. Of course you get, I mean, Smriti got so many roles after that, but nothing could beat Tulsi. What I'm trying to say is, did that happen with you also?
See, in my case, I did a lot of work. I had a huge body of work on television before I started with Dada Dadi and Vikram Baikal, eventually Ramayan. In fact, Ramayan was my last body of work on television. And along with Ramayan, when we did Love Kush, I did around 6-7 movies down south. I did 2 movies in Bengal with Prasenjit, who was a superstar. South, I did with Mammootty, I did with T. Ramarai, I did Shivaji Ganeshan, I did with Ambrish, Arjun, all big people.
Yeah.
And even in Gujarat, I did, because that's my mother tongue, and I've done with Naresh Kanodia, who was a huge superstar in those days. So
Yeah.
I have done a lot of work. And after that, I ended up doing 2-3 movies with Rajesh Khanna, which just very coincidentally happened. Ki, aap karenge kya ye picture, ye guest appearance hai, Ghar Ka Chirag. And I said, right. So, that's how it just happened. We started with a movie called Rupiye 10 Crore, and I think Khudai. So it just fell into place that he wanted me to do a small appearance in one movie. Where you're talking about Chhap Pad Jana and all that, the mainstream, I did not enjoy the kind of work that was coming to me. So I definitely did not just want to sit at home and wait for Hindi cinema to work for me. So I kind of just moved on and did get into these regional setups where I got the kind of work that I would appreciate and I would enjoy doing. There were big roles, huge, massive production homes, and fabulous work. So I just kind of moved and did exactly where I was wanted. I would put it this way. So I did where I was wanted, and I got what I wanted. Hindi cinema did not work for me. I would not say chhap as such, because most of the part of Ramayan, I'm wearing a very simple, nice Gujarati sari with a bindi and ghungat. So I just passed off as a very nice, regular lady from a good middle class house. So that was an identification that possibly people still see me a lot as against another mythology where you are all the time in the tamjam, which I didn't have. I just had in the initial few episodes. So I was quite okay. So I would not say so much to do with my get-up, but yeah, I definitely had a very, very strong image, and they could not have given me a role, and I did not want to accept roles where I was modern or I was wearing fancy things. So, but Rupiye 10 Crore, I still wore a shirt and pants, and I was wearing my jeans, and I did do a little bit of it, which was respectable. It wasn't so bad, but I didn't enjoy anything that was coming to me. So I think that was
Are you
the
also
reason I
saying in
moved
a way
on.
that maybe you were not very comfortable to the idea of maybe short dresses or songs, the kind of songs which we had in those days in the 80s and
Any
90s?
songs so I've done? Yeah, definitely. I did one or two movies which had songs, like Rupiye Das Crore had songs in it. Yeah, short dresses I definitely did not want to get into because I knew that was going against my image. And there are two ways of looking at a situation. Either you break away from an image or you just carry on with an image, because there are no two ways in handling that situation. And I didn't want to break the image because I knew it was too strong. So it would just have backfired, and it wouldn't have made sense to kind of go against the tide. So I'd rather just move with the tide and go with the flow. So that's what I did. Yeah, I didn't want to get into the short dresses.
I appreciate that honest answer from you. But going further, you also joined politics. And what made you do that? I mean, what was the reason for joining politics?
My father was a very active Jansanghi in his college days. So he kind of believed in the Jansangh ideology. So he would talk a lot about all these things, but it never interested me. Politics never kind of was ever on my mind. It was always acting. It was always glamour. It was always, and I am a natural actor from that point of view. It just comes very naturally to me. So, in spite of the fact that I don't have a background of acting, or nobody from my family is an actor, but it just came very naturally to me, and I was good with the craft, and things were just rolling by. Things have just rolled from one thing to the other for me. So when I finished Ramayan and I was still working, I remember there was this studio called Lucky Studio in Baroda, owned by the Nadyadwalas. So Arvind Trivedi, who played Ravan, he came to meet me because he must be shooting somewhere close by. And he said, Advani ji wants to meet you. And we set up a meeting in Ahmedabad in the Circuit House. And he wanted to know who dubbed for me, because he said, your voice is very fascinating. And, he would really like if you could, हमारे BJP के मंच पे से अगर आप कुछ बोलें. So that's how it started. And I said, there was no dubbing. I said, it's my own voice. And they wanted me to be a member to begin with, and I became a member. I think that was fine till that time. Then they came up with a proposal, why don't you contest for elections? Now, I was really not very clear if I should do it, if I should not do it, because I considered myself as a hardcore actor, not somebody who could be politically correct at all times, is how I would have seen myself. So I said, this is not something that I am ready to take up. My father was very keen, and his thought process is like, don't say a no, think about it. Think about how it goes. I mean, if you are in a position to make decisions and influence and be part of something good, I mean, why wouldn't you want to be there? And it kind of sounded very correct to me that, why shouldn't I be a voice and be around to create a better world? I mean, all these are very fancy things, that we all hear about. But I kind of got very fascinated with that bit. And after giving it a thought, I thought about it for at least 10, 15 days. And then they kept calling up regularly. And then one day I kind of said, okay, I think I'll give it a shot about it. And then I just contested, and I won with 50,000 votes against the Maharaja of Baroda. And it was a very big deal. And and then I was in the parliament, and then I was in politics, and it just very simultaneously, life moved very fast for me those years, because when I was campaigning, I got engaged. As soon as I got elected, and I was in the parliament, in 3 months I got married. Then 2 years I had my daughter. So just rolling by.
Life was going pretty fast.
Yeah, it just rolled. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you gave it away. I mean, you gave it up all. The politics part of it. I think after 5 years or something, and continue further. And that took us by surprise at that time. I mean, what was the reason? You said that you wanted to be with your daughter, and
what took you by surprise?
I mean, you giving away.
What took you by?
The politics, you not continuing.
See, I started very early. My profession. I was, my profession came to me very accidentally. It just happened that I was in the 9th standard. I yeah, appeared for my ninth exam, got into my 10th standard, and I kept getting offers all the time because I was quite a pretty child. And one of the offers was from Rajshri Productions.
Yeah.
So now something which I didn't want to let go, because even Rajshri Production was a big name even in those days.
Yeah.
A very reputed, very good people, and very
Clean film.
sound kind of a family background they had. Yeah, clean movies, and also they themselves are very good people.
Yeah.
So I spoke to my father about it. I said, Dad, I really want to do it. I really want to act. I want to do this. My dad was obviously very upset. 10th standard mein ho yaar. I mean, how can you think about something like a career? You career hota hai, but after graduation, not like in between your studies. And my family is all very, very educated. We are pharmacists, and the other half who are not pharmacists are all chartered accountants, and they're all London, Canada, all very well placed. And so for him it was like acting is great, because he said hum log sab log actors hain. Like in my family everybody gave it a shot at some point of time and they were all acting. He's saying that's a hobby, you don't take it up as a profession. Profession to pharmacy bano ya chartered accountant bano, this is a hobby. But then I guess because his love for me was quite big, and he said, okay fine, I'll let you do this one movie. So that's how accidentally I got into it, and I did that one movie. But I didn't get a lot of work, and I didn't get the kind of fame that I thought I would have ended up getting. So in fact, he came up to me and he said that I understand that you've not got what you really wanted, and the reason you kind of ventured out. So be around till you get the kind of fame you get, and alongside you, please finish your education. So over the years, I did my 12th privately. I did my BA. When I was doing my Ramayan, I was studying for my BA also. So now that's the kind of things that happened to me. So I did not enjoy college life as such. I was working. Not that I enjoyed my profession. I was more than happy with where I was. So when I got married and had a child, that's when it just hit me. I said that it's great. I am blessed to have a life the way I had. Need me, and I'm never down for. So that's the kind of a pull that hit me, and eventually I kind of felt that no, I just need to go back. Yeah. So that's when I kind of moved away from politics and moved away from acting and moved away from everything, and I just became a mom. I just became a full-time mother.
So yeah, but when you decided to not continue with politics, did BJP try to coax you to hold back? I mean,
see, everybody does their little bit, that they would definitely not want to lose a member. They will definitely not want to lose somebody who's known also, because when I stand up and talk, definitely it makes more impact than somebody who is not known to the people. I would definitely be able to gather more people than a regular a nobody would. So obviously they did, but then I think I was also very clear. I was quite done. I said I just need my space at this point of time, and I said I'll definitely come whenever I am expected, and whatever needs to be done, I will be doing it. But at this point of time, I think my family needs me. So
after that, have you kept in touch with any senior politicians from BJP, or have you kept in touch with?
Yeah, I know quite a few. In fact, I just met Narendra Modi around. Yeah, I have Narendra Modi. I've just met him around a couple of months back, and going to meet him when I went to Delhi to meet him. So there are a couple of people. Yeah, I do know from the time that I was around, and yeah, I do keep in touch.
So we now recently saw you in Bala. Now that took me a little by surprise.
Yeah.
Here comes Dipika again. What was that? I mean, how did it come to you? Now that's a very obvious question to ask, but it never got covered when Bala released. The focus was always on Ayushman. The focus was always on the subject. How did you come?
Yeah, I don't think I think I was not marketed well in Bala, and I don't think my comeback was given that kind of an importance in Bala. I agree to that bit.
Yeah.
Bala come to me. I think I did 2 projects in Gujarat, because somebody came up from the Gujarat industry and offered me work. And that was the time when I was kind of dabbling and I was wanting to get back. So I did a couple of exhibitions, and that's the time when my older daughter wanted to get into the business. So I felt it's time for me to kind of move away and do something on my own, which is my own career, my own passion that I would like to pursue. And that's exactly the time when I got this 2 projects in Gujarat. So once I did that, I think with the word of mouth, the casting directors got to know about it. So I just get a call from the casting bay one day, and they asked me to come up and talk and said, "Ma'am, please, आप आएंगे. अब ज़माना change हो गया है. Auditions होते हैं. I'm sorry, but I'm asking you for an audition. Would request." I said, "I've heard about saying, yeah, senior actors don't like to do auditions, but please, आप आ जाइए." So I said, "No, that's quite cool about it." I said, "I don't have any qualms about it." I said, "Yeah." And Amar Kaushik ji loved the audition so much that after seeing mine, he did not even bother to see other auditions. So that's the news I got from them. So I think that was fabulous, and I went on the sets, and yeah, it was fine. It was a decent role, and I enjoyed working. I think Amar Kaushik was a fab director. I think I shared screen space with Yami and Ayushman. I think they were fab human beings and good actors, very, very good actors. And I was very happy that I chose Bala as my comeback vehicle. So I think it was nice. And it was a way of telling the industry that, yeah, I want to come back, I want to work.
So now are you meeting producers, directors? I mean, how do you go ahead? I mean, what's your plan?
On my own, I don't know anyone per se. Honestly speaking, I don't know anybody per se who I could just pick up the call and say, I mean, it's not like I knew somebody and I can just pick up the call and say, I want to come back to work. So it's not been easy with me that way. I have just been waiting. I've been getting a lot of good calls from good production homes, auditioning, talking. Things have been coming, going kind of a thing. Yeah. So I'm looking into things. But no, on my own, I've not picked up the call and made any calls because I genuinely don't even know too many people. So
I'll make a hypothetical statement here, or rather a question. I mean, when you see today's times, the roles the heroines have, and the times when you were there in mid 80s or something, how do you compare the two? And let's assume that you were now, you were 20 now. Would you have been happier now, or was it fine then? And plus, would you have been also comfortable doing the stuff that they are doing, much bolder stuff, much more outspoken? How does it go? I mean, what's your perspective on that?
I like the fact that everybody has an opinion and they speak their mind very freely. Because I am a person who likes it that way also. I wouldn't say I'm opinionated or judgmental, but yes, I do share an opinion. I'm quite vocal about it. So I like that in the new breed. I think that it's very, very nice to see them. I also love the fact that there's so much experimental movies that's happening, especially with people like Alia, who's doing such different kind of works. And I mean, everybody is talented, but if you get the kind of role, you can exhibit your talent. So I think it's wonderful. And I don't know, because it's a very hypothetical question. So I cannot say, oh, I would have loved to be in this era, because there are times when I listen to Vaida Rehman's songs, I'm like, oh my God, why wasn't I born that time? So these are all things that, you just wish and hope and pray. कि ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो गया, ये picture ऐसी मुझे क्यों नहीं मिल गई, those kind of things. So I cannot really comment, but yes, I really admire the way the industry is moving today. I really like it. It's very corporate, very business like. 9 बजे के shift में 10:30 बजे first shot होता है, which is fabulous. I mean, I know in my days when people were doing 3 shifts, 9 बजे के shift में कभी 2 बजे actor पहुंच रहे हैं, 4 बजे का पहला shot हो रहा है, तो मतलब समझ में भी नहीं आता कि आप सोए, आराम करें, घर जाए, नहीं पहुंचे, क्या करो? It was absolutely very, very strenuous kind of a thing. So I think it's beautiful. I love the way the movie industry is today. I love the way they think. I love the way they do their work. I think it's just lovely. Very open. Very open.
What about the content? I mean, are you satisfied with the content which you get now, or because you've seen all the
In
films
the
which
movie industry, yes. I think movie industry is fabulous. Look at Bala.
Yeah.
Look at what Shubh Mangal South. See, there's so many movies which are content oriented. Movies which Rajkumar does. Rajkumar
Wow.
again, very I think everybody today has a space and can command their kind of movies. So I think it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
So I think everybody gets to do what they are good, look good at. And I think it's a beautiful space that the industry is in at the moment.
I think what you're saying is we are making more and more relatable films now. That's what.
Yeah, very much, very relatable, very real, and the content is also genuinely very good. It's not just entertainment. It is entertainment, but at something which you take back a story, you take back a good feeling. It's a lovely phase that the industry is in. So I think I'm entering also at the right time when, yes, I think that something can, come out for me. I mean, I can do something out here in this space, not just do a mother's role. Yeah, there can be something given to me.
So any role which you've seen recently, I'm trying to ask you that, what exactly are you looking at? I mean, if you could give us a yardstick that, okay, these were the two roles which you think, as an actor, you feel you could have done. I mean, it's something very natural that comes to us,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I really will not be able to point out, but I saw this one serial which Neena Gupta did just now. I liked the role. It's very subtle, but it was a nice role. I don't know. I loved Kangana's roles. I loved Vidya Balan's roles. I love those kind of things. I mean, yeah, I think that's the kind of genre of work that I would like to do. Yeah. The movies that Vidya Balan does and Kangana does. I mean, I think they're just fabulous. It's just fabulous. I mean, as an actor, you can really relate, and you are like, oh my God, I really wish I had something like that. That's the kind of feeling you get when you see them perform.
Something that you can also be proud of. That stuff is.
Yeah, of course, very much. I mean, if you're coming back to work, you also would want to do work which you're happy about and you're proud about. You just don't want to fool around and get back home. It's not just makeup lagane aa gaye. It's not one of those things.
Absolutely. But when you see the films today and when you see these box office numbers, I mean, you must be obviously reading a lot. कि 3 दिन में इतना हुआ, 4 दिन में इतना हुआ. Do you associate that, or does it go down well with you? Because nobody says today that is it a good film or is it a bad film? It's just like 3 दिन में कितना हुआ, how much is it going to earn? So, and in those days when you were there, I mean, whether in mid 80s or early 80s also, I mean, we were not so obsessed with numbers, if I can use that word.
Yeah.
Well, of course, producers are putting in money, so they will have their balance sheets and everything. But it was like, is it a good film or is it a bad film? So it's a good film. Yeah. Fine. But now it's not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, people, even the common man is trying to give his comment on TV. Okay, in 2 days it will make this much. In 4 days it will make this much.
Yeah, you're right about this. That the number game has come in now. But I think that is something got to do with a corporate background. And when you have corporate background, you are talking money. So when you're talking money, this is bound to happen because there's so much investment that goes down. So I guess there is a lot of money. It is a very corporate. It is turned into a business. It's not just it's an entertainment business. It's a very professional industry at this point of time. It's like how you have a factory and you have businesses happening around. You need to have a certain amount of turnover and certain amount of profit showing. So I think it's just moving towards a very professional work, very professional industry, I would put it this way. So I definitely think when you're looking at something professional, आप ये तो जरूर देखेंगे कि इतना पैसा डाला तो इतना निकलना चाहिए. So I think that number game was bound to happen at some point of time. It had to turn professional. So I think that's fine, but it's I don't see why should that really bother. I mean, yeah, I don't see why should that really come, as a point of notice, because you don't make movies just कि पैसा पड़ा है तो चलो लगा दो. It's always because you want to make money out of it, and everybody wants to make money out of it.
No, I would beg to differ with you and push that point further, because what is happening is, as you rightly pointed out, it's become business. At the end of the day, it was business, but now it's more of a very, very closed a book written already before the movie has released. कि इतना पैसा लगाएंगे, इतना मिलेगा. So in that whole, that maths being done, mathematics.
Speculation.
No, it is already a mathematics done that, okay, music rights से इतना आएगा, इससे इतना आएगा, इससे इतना आएगा, हम इतना खर्चा करेंगे. But don't you think in all that, okay, if you see a table profit also, I mean, before you start, in all that, the nucleus, I mean, the core content is not sometimes as strong. I'm not talking essentially about the last 1 or 1.5 year, where I also agree with you that the content has been good. But in that whole melee, don't you think sometimes the subject gets diluted, the too much attention is not paid on the story, and it's just based on those, numbers and percentage profit?
Well, I really don't know. I can't really comment on these kind of things because it's really not my space to talk about. I'm not a producer. I'm not a director.
I agree,
and,
but many people.
All the while, I've just been an audience for so many years. I've just been an audience, and today I'm coming out as an actor. So it's really not my space to talk about it. But but if they're making these kind of judgment calls, or if they're making these calls that यहाँ से ये पैसा आएगा, वहाँ से वो पैसा आएगा, but at the end of the day, if you feel that they are missing out on a good content, then it's quite sad, because at the end of the day, what really always works is the product. The product always has to be good, because at the end of the day, if your product is not good, your movie is not good, it's never,
because it has happened. It has happened with movies in the recent past. Because it has happened with movies in the recent past. I mean, as an audience, again, you would have also noticed it. I mean, a very mega budget film. I mean, everything going in its favor.
But I always feel, see, I come from a business background. My husband is a businessman. आप कोई भी FMCG ले लीजिए, because we are into FMCG market. So I will tell you this. We keep churning out different products every year. At least 4 or 5, and not only us, everybody does it, right from Hindustan Liver to everybody does it. उसमें से कितनी चलती हैं? एक product चल जाती है Hindustan Liver की. It's the same with everywhere. I mean, you are trying to give the best. मुगले आजम आपने एक बनाई, उसके पीछे 50 मुगले आजम बनी है. You can't do that. Ramayan इतनी बनी है, एक ही Ramayan has worked. So you are all the time trying to find a space where you are doing something different. You're being creative. You're still trying to get your mullah, and you're still trying to entertain the people. So I think it's a constant evolution that happens in every industry, that you have to constantly keep making changes to keep up with the audience. मतलब जो 20 साल पहले जो गोविंदा की पिक्चर बन रही थी, it was fantastic, but today they don't work. Today's audience will not accept it. Today's audience is accepting what the Rajkumar Rao, the Ayushmann Khurrana are doing. They're really looking forward to those movies. Yeah, exactly. So you have to, because it's a constant change that you have to keep up with. Otherwise, you just get washed away.
My thing was on the big budget films, the bonanzas, which are.
So I think big budget movies also, it works the same way. मतलब चली तो fantastic. अगर नहीं भी चली है, so people are still trying to make their changes, and they're also doing big actors like Akshay. He's all the time churning out different roles, different stories. He's coming up in different get-ups. I mean, he's also working very hard, trying to figure out audience ko kya pasand aayega. Sorry?
I said he's really
standing out. He's also trying to...
He's standing out.
Yeah, he is, because people are all trying to do it. Everyone in their own capacity and their own understanding are trying to do whatever is the best for themselves, for the business in the industry, and to entertain the people. It's a balance of everything that works together.
Yeah, that's fair point. And this whole chat will be incomplete, Dipika, if I don't talk about Shyam sir, who just passed away, who played the very important character in Ramayan.
Ji.
And what are your memories of him? And like, have you connected with the family recently or something?
No, I'm afraid I've not been able to connect with the family at all. And you know, the whole Ramayan unit was full of men. So they would all they were pack of men all together, would sit and chill and talk. So as a girl, I would end up sitting only with the Sagar's family, where the daughter-in-laws would come, because I didn't have anybody else to talk to. And मेरे age group का तो खैर कोई था ही नहीं. So I've really not interacted with anybody. Dara Singh ji के साथ थोड़ा बहुत कभी खो जाता था. And otherwise, really, genuinely, nobody. And Sugriv ji ke saath, I never had any scenes, but of course, we would sit in the evening, some talk, and of course, they all had a language issue because they would speak in a language which none of us understood. Unhone to Sugriv has also not spoken his lines.
Okay, in Ramayan.
Because he could not remember his lines. And क्योंकि वो मास्क पहना था, तो सागर साहब ने कहा तुमको जो मन में आया बोलते जाओ, we will manage it. हम लोग डब करा लेंगे, कुछ भी करेंगे. But your presence is Sugriv, so we will make sure. हाँ, मतलब वो पीछे से then ultimately a dubbing artist has done it, because lip sync तो था ही नहीं उनका. So because his personality was what Sagar Saab had loved about him.
Absolutely.
So I think
the language was a deterrent.
Not only. Yeah, absolutely. Because he came from a place where I couldn't, ever understand what he was talking. But yes, we have spoken in the evenings. He would talk about his diet. मुझे तो इतने अंडे चाहिए, मुझे इतना दूध चाहिए. So I would be speechless when I would listen to all these stories. And obviously, we did not have eggs coming up on Ramayan sets. So it was very difficult for him. And he was trying to manage his food. So we would talk, but there was really not much of conversation happening. But yes, I think he was a very, very fine gentleman, and very sad that this has happened. But yeah, my condolences to the family if it reaches out to them. But yes, all of us did our little bit of putting it up into the press and wherever we could, because none of us are really associated with the family. So we really don't know how to get across to it.
It will from this platform. And just the final concluding question, since the last 4 to 8 days, there's been a lot of talk on that Sonakshi's blunder in KBC Ramayan, where she couldn't answer one question, and Mukesh Khanna apparently, said something reportedly and allegedly, said the return of
What did Sonakshi say? What was Sonakshi say? Because I have no clue on this.
One of the questions on the KBC, it was on the Ramayan, and Mukeshji said that now that the Ramayan and Mahabharata are coming back, it will be good for people like them to revise and see them and all. And then what happened was, the moment this Mukesh Khanna said, Nitish Bharadwaj jumped in defense of Sonakshi and said, "आप बच्चे एक question एक answer अगर उसको नहीं आया तो क्या हुआ?" I think it's being associated with the fact that her building's name is Ramayan and her brothers are called Love Kush. Then the other day, Puneet Issar spoke in favor of Sonakshi again, like Nitish. And then Shatruji also rose to, obviously defend his daughter and said, this is completely wrong on Mukesh Khanna's part, to after so many years and, to take say things like these. They're bad taste. So what do you think? I mean, if
I also think it is genuinely in bad taste to speak bad about your co-actor. And I think it's very, very not professional. And I think it just, I think it's not fair on anybody's part. Not everybody would be knowing everything about everybody. I mean, today if you talk to Mukesh Khanna about NASA, he's not going to answer you about NASA question. So I mean, a scientist can always pick on him. So I think it's just not fair. I think we should not get into all these kind of gimmicks in life. And I am really out of it. I don't like politics which gets dirty like this. And I think everybody doesn't need to know everything in life. It's totally fine. And I think you should not, as co-actors, malign each other. I think it's really...
The fraternity,
really
you mean, one against the other.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I don't think it's correct to judge anyone like that. It's not fair. Yeah. And not everybody knows everything in every field. It's fine. I mean, it's okay. You just maintain peace. There's so much hatred around. Spread peace, spread love. Yeah.
Immensely. Hatred is increasing by the minute. I keep saying this.
Yeah.
I really wish to learn about this, and there's more empathy and more understanding, and less
Yes,
feeling
of course. I think
in all that
we
we
should
hear
all
told to us.
move towards it. Yeah. Yeah. I think we should all work towards a better future and a better life and better look inwardly. In fact, I think I've been saying this in all my appeals. The CM of Gujarat wanted me to do an appeal for him also. And I've been saying this, when you've got this time, the quarantine time, please spend and look inwardly, not just watch televisions. And do introspection. There's so much that possibly we are lacking in ourselves, and where else can we improve? So I think it's very important that we need to see each other with love, respect. It's so easy to just point out fingers at people. It's not done. It's not done.
Well, that's very nice of you, and you have joined us. And that last appeal which you made is my plea also to everybody to understand, not just in times of corona, but the way forward is not negativity, no manipulation.
No, never negativity.
But I wonder whether people will understand, and whether people will change is a very is a question.
No, I definitely think people will change. It will all become nice. I come from a world and I come from a thought test, which is very positive, and I definitely think it'll all be wonderful at the end of the day.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that note of
Thank you.
optimism and for this big interview. Deepika, it was lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
I've watched that serial, and I watched Sun Meri Laila also. I think I was.
Oh, really?
I've
You
been
have?
Yes, of course I have, and the music was superb, I think. And,
yes, that's right. It was.
I don't remember the entire movie in scene-wise and all, story, everything. But the music was lovely, and those were the days when we had Amber Oscar theaters.
That's right. Yes.
And it was released in Minor,
Yes,
the smallest theater in the city of Bombay. And we used to love sitting in that closed box. What I would call it.
Yes.
Those days are not going to come back.
Yeah.
But
I think those were the days. They were lovely. Yeah.
But we are going to come back to you, and always keep in touch. Thank you so much for being on SpotboyE.
Thank you.
Big thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.